Hold on to your mug. We're in for a wild night.
We do have a couple of discussion topics for tonight. I think something that we're going to try to do a little bit on the show is, have a different discussion topic each week that we can all weigh in on. So we had a couple of things come up this week on our Discord server. The first one, I'm going to lean heavily on Mike because I don't really have a good answer for this, but this is from Chad W, who said, I want to start streaming on Twitch, but I don't have a clue how to start other than buying a $700 quote unquote gaming laptop. Please help. And I know, Mike, you're going by Mobile Mike for a long time, streaming on your phone. And I was curious, I think you'd be maybe the kind of subject matter expert on this. So do you have any advice for Chad about getting started with streaming?
Yeah. So, I like to call it the Tony Stark approach. Just throw money at it. Totally solve your problem.
That's my approach. We were joking about it before the show, right? I don't know. I don't have a good answer to this, right? Like, just spend a lot of money on an expensive thing and it better work.
All right, no. To be serious, I can't speak on most cell phones, smartphones, I should say. Now I'm dating myself and calling them cell phones. The oldest iPhone, I believe, you could use would be an iPhone 7 that I still have right here. I used it for about 13 months. I think it was May of 2018. I had to stop streaming because of other reasons. But before I did, I was on Twitch and I came across a Twitch streamer. And I always said this, I wish I had her Twitch name or I remembered it, because all I remember from that stream was that she was streaming Hearthstone from a cell phone. I noticed it based on the way the layout was sideways, and you can only see 2 parts of the board instead of the full thing when you play on PC. And I asked, and I was just stunned, because at the time, the situation I was going through, streaming mobile would have been my option at the time. But I was just stunned. I was like, how are you streaming on Twitch from a cell phone? Because I knew Twitch has a built-in go live button, and it'll stream from your rear or front camera, but never your screen. So she had said that she was using Streamlabs, and there's another obvious app that I'm not thinking of. I can't think of it. I had tried these 2 apps and neither one really worked. Streamlabs sometimes did. They may have gotten better. I haven't tried since, but it didn't work. So I found a third app after these other 2 apps, so I kept trying. It was called Omelet Arcade. So OMLET Arcade. And I think they have a desktop version too, but I haven't touched it. But I download Omelet Arcade, and within Omelet, you can attach your Twitch or YouTube account. And once you do that, you have to give it permissions to do whatever apps do with permissions. I'm not sure if anybody reads what they say. I don't read it. I just click accept because I'm trying to get my thing done. So get in there. You can set up your title. It's a free program, but you can get into the premium services and you can unlock layouts and stuff. If you choose not to, they have a built-in one. So it's a cool app because it'll give you a layout without you having a PC or any other technology to set up a layout. Even though it is generic, it'll still make it look a little more shiny and glossier than the average stream. But Omelet Arcade, OMLET Arcade, is the app that I used from iPhone 7 to stream on Twitch. And lastly, the phone that I'm using to do this podcast is a Motorola G7 Power. There's a phone called Motorola G7. The battery life isn't strong enough to stay on longer than 5 or 6 hours. So they made this phone, the G7 Power. And then once I got this phone, this is what I streamed on for a long time. I could stream 10 hours straight on this phone. So I used the Motorola G7 Power and the iPhone 7 with an app called Omelet Arcade. And that's what helped me stay on Twitch. I got to meet Guy Grumpy, Slizzle, a lot of great content creators over the past year. Draco Cat, D-Money Games from Hyperize, and streaming on mobile kept me around until I could get a computer from Dual Cat. So sorry to talk your ear off, but I just want to get all the information out that I had written down and saved when I saw the question, just so I could answer it thoroughly.
Did you say the Motorola is what your camera's on right now?
Yes.
Yeah,
It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
looks great.
Hey, all right. Appreciate it.
I mean, I think for me, I've got a PC. One thing I did notice is that even when I was using a laptop to do some streaming, it worked a lot better when I would plug it directly into my router rather than use the Wi-Fi. So that would be one recommendation. If it wasn't, I think when we were doing the show, when we first started this show, and even when we were doing Into the Wild back in the day, I was using a 5-year-old laptop, and it would do okay. Not great, but it would do okay. I think I recommend, though, if you can, plug your computer straight into the wall rather than using the Wi-Fi. I don't know. Hydra, do you have any words of wisdom?
When I first started streaming, I didn't have a green screen or anything like that. Like, I just had the background of my house. I had major lighting issues. So the one thing that I did personally have to invest in was the green screen, because I've got big windows coming from this side over here where the sun just comes in. But I had a really crappy old computer that I was streaming on at first. And unfortunately, the only thing I could do, and I didn't know about Mobile Mike at this point. I mean, no, I knew Mike forever, but I didn't know that he was streaming Mobile Mike.
Yeah.
And I just basically I had to upgrade. I didn't know anything else what to do, to be honest. I'd save my money. I'd put my pennies away a day, and I ended up getting myself a better setup just so I could do it. But I don't have the biggest budget recommendations. I do really appreciate what Mike had to say about using the phone, because to me that blows my mind that you could do all that. I remember I was watching you doing like the Lake House streams where like you.
Oh man, yeah.
And like that was super cool.
I think that you can do a lot on a budget per se, where a lot of the bells and whistles really aren't needed. You don't have to have some crazy fancy lights. You don't have to have a green screen. And honestly, like, I had spent the money, got the lighting and the green screen, and sitting here for 2 to 3 hours with these super bright lights in my face and the green screen pulled up like behind me so I can't really move back or I run into it. It looks cool on the screen, but it's not very comfortable. And so over time,
That's
I was like,
true.
well, if I paint the wall behind me and put up a couple pictures and put up a little shelf with my little toys on it, like, I can use that as a background instead of having to sit under these really hot lights for the entire evening. And I start seeing people like Electric Sheep City is the kind of the person who inspired me to do that a little bit, was that, you can put stuff in the background. Like, there's no reason that you need to be on a green screen. In fact, a lot of people don't. It's interesting. And it depends sort of on what space you're using to stream. If you're streaming from your living room or your kitchen or wherever, and maybe you don't want people walking around in the background, or you don't want whatever it is. But I think that there's, I don't know, and nobody really cares. Like, at the end of the day, you make content, have a good time. And I don't think anyone truly really cares what is going on in your background, as long as it's not super distracting. That's what I would say. If your background has got a lot of like moving things, people running around, or a lot of distractions, maybe you don't want that.
Yeah, definitely. For mobile, I also wanted to say I did have a good internet connection. So that's where money does come involved when you're streaming on a budget. Make sure your internet connection is good. $40 a month at Comcast here, but even though Comcast, anyway, yeah, different podcast for that.
Kutula, do you stream at all? Your games?
No,
I saw you had a YouTube channel, so I didn't know if you were recording games or streaming or.
No, I do have a channel. It has like 1 or 2 videos maybe, but I don't stream at all.